That's a good one. Hey guys, Tyler Rivet here, Elite Series Pro. Today I want to talk to y'all about one of my favorite techniques, is punching. You can punch from January 1st to December 31st, so that's why it's one of my favorite techniques, because you can do it all year long and you can catch big fish all year long. And what I look for in the fall for punching is, it's almost that time of year where everything's starting to die off. Their big mats are getting smaller, so it's kind of pushing them in all the same little areas and little bitty holes and pockets on the points. January, February, that time of year, you always want to look for that dead stuff, the brown stuff. For some reason it gets more heat and they get under it better, the bigger ones do. In the fall time, you kind of still want to look for the mix between green and brown. If you have cold fronts coming through, down here it don't get cold here till probably about December, so we have a long time with green stuff. But in the winter, the bigger things are starting to die off, the mats, and it's pushing them into small areas. So what I like to do is going down the bank. Down here we got canals, and it's similar just to like lakes. You're gonna have a line of lilies or a line of hyacinth mats is what most people call them. And I like to look for the thinner ones and the ones with points. It's either about 2 or 3 foot wide. It ain't like probably 20, 30 foot wide to where they can be anywhere. I always like to go down the bank, always the points. The points are very good to hit, just because it's a high percentage with bait coming through or in and out. They could get out if it gets cloudy, or they can stay in. Honestly, I think fish that live under mats 24/7. It don't matter if it's raining, windy, stormy, it don't matter. They're gonna live under there, and it's how the big ones get big. And that's why I like punching, because 90% of the times, if you keep a punching rod in your hand, especially down here in the south, you'll catch big fish, and all you need is 5 fish and you'll win. What I like to do with my favorite baits, I use an 1 ounce weight. It's a Rougarou tackle with Rougarou bobber stoppers on there, and that's the most I like to use, is a 1 ounce weight, just because once you start getting heavier, your hookup ratios get less, because it's a bigger weight pushing the mouth open, and it's a bigger profile, and it makes a lot of noise. I like something that's slim. An ounce weight's about the most I'll go, down to about a half if I could for punching. And my bait of choice is the Excite Raptor Tail, and it normally has appendages on the side right here, and I'll rip them off, because I feel like a punching bite is just a reaction bite 90% or 100% of the time, I'd say. So right when it follows through it, they just see that one little bait and they eat it. So the less stuff for them to bite on the edge and stuff, and the better to hold on to the main body. I think it's a better hookup ratio as well. So I like something like, I have a 4/0 owner jungle flipping hook, and you can see it goes almost all the way to the point, which means if they grab anywhere on here, they're going to be hooked pretty good. And between a snell knot and a polymer knot, I use a snell knot sometimes, and some tournament days I use a polymer knot. It's all just, everybody knows with the snell knot, it'll push it up, and sometimes it's just, you got to go with whatever you have faith in, I'd say, because sometimes the polymer knot ain't working and you got to use the snell knot and you'll hook up better, and vice versa. Sometimes the snell's not working. So it's just whatever you like to do. And I feel like a lot of it has to do with the rod and the stiffness and just the way they're eating. My rod, what I've become to like, I used to use extra heavies, and I started to slim down to the heavies just because they got a little more tip in them, and it puts a little less pressure on a fish and don't rip that hole whenever you set the hook on them. So I use a 7/6 Siren heavy, and it's made by 6 Scale, same as the reel. It's a hammer reel by 6 Scale at 8:1. I like a quick reel ratio just to get it out in and out the mats quick, because like I said, it's a reaction bite. So the quicker you can get it out there, pump it up once or twice in each hole, and move on. Don't spend the time with 5 or 6, 7 bumps up and down. You could use that a lot, like more in the springtime, whenever they're kind of spawning on that stuff, because you'll be in the bed sometimes if you're lucky. But like I said, a lot of times it's just going to be a reaction bite, and that's when I have the chance to punch, I'm punching. And it worked out this year in Guntersville and previous years in Guntersville. So it's something y'all need to check out, and if y'all want to, just check out my page, and I have all kind of tips on punching.